Albert A. Wall, the voice of the jungle, broadcasting on the DVC to all points unknown. If you're within the sound of my voice, you're listening to Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Hello and welcome home. Thank you for joining us on episode 235 of Welcome Home, a Disney Parks and Vacation Club podcast. I'm Tom, here with Trevor and Damon. What's going on, guys?
Dude, I'm having such a hard time figuring out what I want to do this summer. It's like turning
Next
into
summer,
a disaster.
you mean?
Excuse me?
Next summer, you mean? Yeah.
Well, this summer, officially over, but not officially over, right? It's officially for travel left. Over.
It's still 80 degrees out, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I wish it was 80 degrees here, right, Tom?
Yeah, it was like 82. It was 82 yesterday. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, but then like the day before it was like 96.
Yeah, we had like 100-day degree early. Yeah, so
I'm kind of like on the fence with what I want to do with my points. I'm not sure. I looked at the Vero cottages, and it looks like there's just not enough of them. Like, there's no way I'm touching them at 7 months because I think they're booked already at 11, right? Yeah. So that's not on the list. And then there's no, like, I'm not going to the parks next year. I'm just like, what am I doing? And Hilton Head is off the table because, again, it's, we have relatives there now. So it's not like I'm going to go stay at Disney when they have a house there to stay at. Makes no sense. So I'm kind of like torn with what I want to do with these points next year, to be honest with you. I just don't know.
So why would you not waitlist those cabins? Like, I know you said
I can't yet because it's 7 months, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I could definitely waitlist them.
Yeah, a lot of people drop them. So, like,
I could do that, but then the problem is that how long do you wait before you have to do something else?
And then it's fair trying to shift and if other things are booked up.
Yeah. So and we weren't a huge fan of the tree houses. I just don't think the sleeping arrangements were conducive to our little setup. So that's kind of off the table. And I didn't love it there. I think, again, as I said, some of that probably had to do with the boat. But if we're not going to go to the parks, what are we going to do? So we may end up doing SeaWorld. Like, yeah, we may end up just doing SeaWorld, and I'm trying to get everyone to buy into Legoland, but I can't. Like, and I'm like, how could you not want to go? Like, I get, like, it's for, like, littler kids.
Yeah,
it would still be fun, man.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We may do SeaWorld, Legoland, and then it's just going to be a matter of where do we stay.
I will tell you, though, Damon, Legoland is pretty far. I mean, it was like
we've been there before.
Hour and a half from, it was
45 minutes, man.
With traffic, it took us a long time to get there.
We didn't have that problem. Last time we were there, I think it was about 45 minutes. We went past the goat milk fudge place, and then we were good.
Goat milk fudge place? What?
Yeah, if you didn't see that, then, I mean, that's the whole, that's the trip from Disney to Legoland.
That drive was a whole lot of middle of nowhere, basically.
It was, and that's why I'm saying if you missed out on the goat milk fudge, I mean, I think you missed out on the only thing on the way, I feel like.
I don't
know. We're probably going to do Dollywood again, but now I'm a little bit torn about when.
I thought you were going to do Hershey, though. What happened to Hershey?
No, dude, so that's the thing. I started looking at Hershey, and it's the same thing as we had with Busch Gardens Tampa. So we've never been to Busch Gardens Tampa. Well, at least my kids have never been. And I was like, oh, that would be great. And you look at the ride list, and it's just not enough for like a casual rider. Like, I think that's what it is. Like, when you go to Disney or you go to even Universal, you have those kind of casual thrill rides. Yeah. And they don't really have that at Hershey. I mean, they have the Comet, but I don't even consider that a thrill ride anymore, right?
Yeah.
There's just not a lot to do for the people that don't love rides.
You should do you should do a combo trip, Damon. You should do Hershey and then go to Dorney Park, which is one of my favorites.
Oh, I do not like Dorney Park.
You don't like Dorney Park? I
love
Dorney. What?
Dorney Park is no.
I used to go to Dorney Park every summer when I was a kid.
Yeah, and back when you were a kid, it was okay.
I mean, I haven't been in a long time, so
exactly. So you go tell me who goes to Dorney Park now?
Yeah,
no. It's not. Yeah, no, thank you.
Keep those rose-colored glasses on, Tom.
Well, I feel like it's a little bit like Great Adventure. Like, I went to Great Adventure a lot growing up, but I don't think I would go now. It's just a little bit more rowdy.
Oh, I get that.
And I don't have
change,
I don't have an interest in rowdy amusement parks. You know what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying. Yeah,
I don't know,
never ran into that at Dorney, but
Well, yeah, I mean, back in the 80s and 90s, I'm sure you didn't. I mean, Hershey, like I said, I looked at Hershey and I was kind of just like, okay, well, what am I doing at Hershey? I think the problem with Hershey is when, you go in the park and there's some good rides, but they're more on the thrill end. And then the other stuff is just baby down, right? Like,
You mean like the observation tower shaped like a Hershey Kiss?
well, no, that's fun, but I'm just saying, like, you kind of go in there and you have like, like when you go into the park and you go to the left and up that little hill, you have like the Busy Bees, and it's like you have that whole little section of kids stuff.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no in between, right?
Yeah, I just don't feel like there's a lot in between. And I looked honestly at the hotel pricing and I was kind of like, yeesh, I don't know.
We didn't stay. We did last time I went to Hershey. We did not stay on Hershey property. We stayed at like a hotel like 10 minutes away because it was way cheaper.
Yeah, I looked, but there was nothing great.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we stayed at like a nice hotel. I mean, this was a long time ago too. This may be like,
Yeah, and if I'm going on vacation, I want to stay at a nice hotel. So I'd want to stay at either the Lodge or whatever the spa place is.
yeah,
Hershey
the Hershey
Hotel.
Hotel and the Lodge.
Yeah.
The Lodge is really nice too. I mean,
That's what we stayed last
stayed there
time.
in like 20 years. So
Yeah, we stayed there last time. But again, I just looked at the cost, and that's like, I was just like, oh, yeah, I don't know. And I told you, my kids are they're getting to the point where they're just like, hey, so when we go to Dollywood next time, let's go one less day, and let's do one less this, and let's do one less that. I think that if we went to Dollywood again, we might not go to the parks either and just do stuff. Like, I'm telling you, that Scooby-Doo escape room, there's some other things there that I just are like, seem so cool, but not cool, but like kind of weird, but kind of cool. Like, I don't know. I might do some of that crazy stuff there.
Some one and done kind of stuff, right?
Some one and done stuff. Absolutely. Just to be like, oh, so I've never been to a Scooby-Doo escape room. I've never been to an indoor 3-person laser tag in the back of a building. Like, I don't know. I may try some of that stuff. We'll see. But yes, I'm having a hard time with this Disney, but I think what will end up happening is we'll probably book something, a 3-bedroom somewhere at Disney. And then just go to SeaWorld, maybe. I mean, maybe that's a thought.
Now, what about renting out your points? Because
I've done that before.
Yeah. So because you're like you were saying it yourself, is that you're kind of in a place right now where you're not seeing yourself at Disney.
Yeah. I mean,
and talking about like, some of these hotels and the price and everything, wouldn't it make sense to maybe rent out your points?
Yeah, that might happen because I really only need points. Again, what we're going to do is the year after that with Epic Universe, I'm going to need at least 1 or 2 days of Disney points because I'm going to drive down, stay at Disney since it's, air quote free, and then go to Universal. So that way I'm not going to Universal and kind of wasting a day being tired or driving.
Right.
I may even do the same thing where we do Universal and then like at 5:00 instead of driving back home. So I use it as like a day of going to the park and then crash out at Disney for free again and then go home. We may do something like that. So I'll probably need 2 days just in case 2 days to kind of.
But that's not this next year though. That's the following.
No, that would be the year after. Yep. So this year I could just rent out all my points if I wanted to. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I've actually been in the process of kind of calculating whether I should get annual passes or not, right? Because the one day we're going to go in November, it's the one day tickets for Magic Kingdom during Christmas time is like $175 a head, so like for the three of us with taxes and everything, it's like $600. And so at that point, it's like, okay, well, we're going to also go for, 8 days in 2024. So if you're
crossing the threshold for an annual pass.
Exactly. We can, especially since those one day tickets are so expensive, like it actually really kind of makes it work. So yeah, because I think it was like $100 cheaper to do annual passes than to do the 1 day worth of tickets in November and then the 8 days worth of tickets in May. So I think we're going to do annual passes is what we're going to do, but I don't know yet. I mean, I haven't completely decided. It's also, like $3,000 for 3 of us for annual passes. So, that's a lot. So yeah, I don't know.
Then, I mean, the thing is also through DVC, you get the merch and the restaurant discounts, right? So
yeah.
So the hard part is that like, I used to look at it as like, hey, annual pass, you can save money because of the discounts. But I don't think right now the annual pass discounts are any better than DVC. So
no, I think they're usually, I mean, lately they've just kind of been the same.
Right?
Yeah, they've been the same. Yeah. So it's, it's not even about the discount, right? It's just more about the just saving on tickets, I guess. Right.
I'm just trying to help you rationalize getting an annual pass. That's all.
Oh, I don't need to rationalize it. I've already kind of decided in my head I'm going to do it. So,
Okay.
yeah. I just, by the way, I just want to like, somebody was giving me a hard time in the group for the way I say Chapek and the way I say Josh Giamaro, which I'm pretty sure I'm saying both of those correctly. So I don't. Did you see that?
Is it Chapek or
I've heard it said Chapek. I've heard it say Chapek. I guess you could say Chapek.
Chapek.
I don't know. I don't know how you say Diamaro differently. Diamaro? I don't know. Who was either was Phil giving me a hard time, and I'm like, I don't think I'm saying anything wrong. I mean, I could be.
We all know who you're talking about, and I mean, if Bob wants to come in here and be offended at us, like, he should, by all means. Like,
I even Googled it to try to find the right pronunciation and couldn't find it. So, that's how I've heard it, though. I mean, I don't know. I guess I could be wrong. It's funny because you don't realize how you say stuff. I think it's interesting in general, and I'm sure Trevor and Damon, you run into this too. Like, I don't remember the stuff I say on here most of the time, and when everyone's like, "Oh, you said this thing," I'm like, "I did." Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh,
cool.
I've said this before. Is I'll get told like 2 days later by my wife about something that I said, and I'm like, you're telling me new information here. Like, I know I was in that conversation, but I know I was there
and it came out of my mouth, but I don't remember exactly what it was said. Yeah. This podcasting thing's hard. Oh, also people have been asking about a Halloween show and a Halloween live show like we've done in the past. We have not talked about this as a group. But I feel like it's become our annual tradition and I feel like we need to do it. So it's just a matter of when. I think we just need to figure that out.
Yeah, oh boy, my October is not looking great.
Well, and Halloween's on a Tuesday this year.
Oh, it's no way it's going to be
it might be Friday night, maybe like the 27th we could do Friday night.
Yeah, I got to look at our schedule. I know my son has a concert. I just don't know when it is. I feel like it might be the 27th. I don't know. I have to look.
We can make it happen though. We'll make this happen. And the cool news is that we're gonna have new hats. So maybe we can give out some hats on the live show.
I don't think they'll be ready by. Oh well, maybe they'll be ready by then.
It's a whole month.
Well, I mean, we don't have to like hand them out, or people get hats after the show. But
yeah, so okay, yeah, we could definitely do that. I don't know what I'm gonna do this year.
Yeah, I mean, what do you mean? What are we going to do this year? We're going to do the same thing we always do. We're going to open it up and people join and silliness will ensue. And
I haven't even thought about a Halloween costume this year.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do.
So my daughter wants to be Ghost Spider from the that kid's Spider-Man series. She really likes that show. And so she wants to be Gwen. And so I have committed to her that I will be regular Peter Parker Spider-Man. So I will be buying an adult Spider-Man costume.
All right.
I'm going to be the Spider-Man from the animated one, the more recent movie. Why am I forgetting? Was it Spider-Verse, whatever?
Spider-Verse, yeah.
Where he let himself go a little bit. He's got kind of like a gut.
The Peter in the bathrobe.
Yeah, that's the Spider-Man I'll be. Yeah.
Okay.
Spider-Man that's put on a little bit too much weight. Is not in good shape anymore, has back problems, So yeah, that's what I'm going to be for Halloween this year, apparently.
All right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we could do the Halloween show. We should also talk really quickly here too about the new merch, the new logo, all that fun stuff. So, we do have a new logo, which is, I was thinking about this. This is I think the 5th iteration of our logo, actually.
5th?
Is it the 5th?
I thought it was
so the
4th.
First one, if you guys remember when we very first started, it was just a picture that I had taken of Epcot with the words "Welcome Home" podcast written over it. Like that was the very first one.
I don't even remember that one, but okay.
Yeah. I only remember the
train one,
railroad.
The train one, that was number 2. Yeah. Number 3 is the one that we've been using on the podcast, and number 4 is the one that we use for Patreon. So this is number 5.
The Patreon's wasn't like an official.
No, it's an alternate, but it's not.
Yeah. I don't know if I fit that in there. I don't know.
All right. Well,
it's still our logo.
The 4th iteration. Yeah, it's still the logo. So, but we do have a new logo. So the logo will update on everybody's. At everybody's podcast app sometime soon here. But along with the new logo, we do have new merchandise that is out with the special. This one is this is a shirt that Damon has been looking to make for a long time, right, Damon? With the golden birthday button. So if you want to talk about it,
it's golden birthday button. I mean,
way to do the hard sell, David. Way to do the hard sell.
It was funny because my mom had asked me about it, and like I kind of had to go into this whole big thing. She's like, "Well, what do you mean? Like the buttons that you get at Disney?" I said, "Yes." I said, "The problem is that people like will be like celebrating my birthday 3 months later." And that's where it just gets annoying. I said, there should be this golden button that like you can only wear on the day of whatever event you say you're celebrating, right? Like, yeah. And that should be what you use. I mean, more towards, I would say, birthdays and anniversaries, like things that are single day sort of things, right? Like those are the ones I think it applies to. Like, I just like, oh, happy birthday. Oh, thanks. Oh, so when was your birthday? Oh, it was 2 weeks ago, or it was 3 weeks from now. Like, then it's not a birthday. No.
I'm glad you're going over this again, Damon, because this is one of the older jokes on our show. I think you probably said this like 4 years ago. So any new listeners probably have no idea what we're talking about with the golden birthday button.
I just don't care for it.
And okay. And I'm going to head this off because I know people are going to say this about the shirt, is that they're going to be like, well, that's the golden birthday button shirt. So can you only wear it on your birthday? No. Because
wear it at all times.
What the button says is that I'm listening to Welcome Home Podcast. And if you're listening to Welcome Home Podcast, you're listening every day, which means you're wearing that golden button every day. Right?
There you go.
That's right.
There we go.
And we do have new gear with the new logo on it as well. And the birthday button shirts, Damon, does it have the new logo on the back or the old logo? I think it has the new logo, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'm just in the midst now of creating. Someone said something about a fanny pack, and I realized I didn't make a fanny pack, so I'm making one right now as we're podcasting. How's that?
Well, and Jeremy has his own special item, so congratulations to Jeremy for getting a special item just for you.
Absolutely.
I just like that you called it the Jeremy special. That just made me laugh.
Well, because you know like how terrible it is to do stuff in spring, that I was just kind of like, I don't know, like that was my 5th iteration. So I was like, okay, well, I don't even know what to call these anymore.
Yeah. So, check out, and also, by the way, too, we do still have merch with the old logo. If you prefer the old logo, or if, you just like the old logo better, I guess you can still get stuff with the old logo too. So
we're giving you choices.
Yeah, there's a lot of choices in the store right now. So it's store.welcomehomepodcast.com if you want to support the show. And listen, all the proceeds of this go towards buying a welcome home boat that we can all, vacation on. No, I mean, I'm kidding. No, so all the proceeds from this literally go towards paying for the art that we got done for this. And also just for the show, right? Like,
well, and when we talk about giving away hats, right? Let's be honest, like hats are not cheap to make.
They're not. No.
So when we go and see people either that, show up for a live event or show up at the parks, and we give them away for things like that.
Yeah, exactly. So all of that goes towards, giveaways for the show, towards making the show continue to operate and stuff like that. So, it's not like we're getting rich off hats and shirts. So like it's not the case. So we'll just be happy to make our money back on the artists that we paid to do this. So so please, support the show. This is one of the ways you can do it. We really appreciate it. I love every time somebody posts a picture in the group or emails us a picture of them wearing our stuff in the park.
Dude, I would say if people post themselves with either golden button or the new logo stuff, out of those people that make a post, someone's got to make this post, but whoever posts first will get 2 entries into some hat giveaway stuff. And anyone else posts will throw in some sort of raffle for hats at some point.
Look at that. Damon's creating a sweepstakes that right now. So yeah, I'm all for that. I would love a photo contest of people wearing their stuff in the parks. Yeah, I think that would be great. Yeah, I will
create anything in the spring store. So like if your pet wants a shirt, just let me know. I'll create a special pet shirt. Like I have no problem with that.
We got fanny packs. We got water bottles.
Well, now we have fanny packs. So I just created it now while we were live on the show.
Well, what about the pickleball paddle though? I mean, do we have
dude? Like, no. I was, it's funny. So I'm at tennis this morning, right? And me and my daughter are playing tennis, and it's pretty packed at tennis too on a Sunday morning. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 9 courts. Okay. And the pickleball courts, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of those, and they're just jammed up. And I drive by, and it just like it. I look over, and I just say to my daughter, I was like, these pickleball people are just crazy. It looks like they're all terrible too, right? So I just drive by, and we go to play tennis, and then I see people, because there's so many people at pickleball, they start using one of the tennis courts, and I say to myself, the net is not the same height. So you want to go practice on a tennis court for pickleball? Like, I just know you're not serious right from the get-go, because you're practicing on something that is not the same size net as an actual pickleball court. Why? I don't know.
What kind of size net is it? Is it like a badminton net, or is
It's just a little bit shorter.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a little bit shorter. So,
it's funny you talk about that, because we are at our community association. They've split the tennis courts between tennis and pickleball, and they had to put up all kinds of signage, because like exactly what you're talking about is there's like, it's like some West Side Story stuff going on. Like the tennis people and the pickleball people are like at odds with one another. And we see it in the community newsletter all the time, where they're like, it's like very like, please read the rules for pickleball. And it's like, whoa, like, okay.
Yeah, it definitely is. And it's just, the amount of people at pickleball is just so crazy that like it just like kind of spills over. But the thing is, there was enough people at tennis. So I was thinking to myself, like, what would I have done if I had gotten there looking to play tennis and there was no courts open, but these people were playing pickleball?
Or you just went to the basketball court, because that's flat too, right?
I would have been kind of mad, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I still have never played pickleball. I would like to play it. I'd like to do it one time. It seems fun.
Again, as my daughter says, it's a hobby. It's not a sport. And if you treat it as a hobby, then it's fine.
I mean, meanwhile, my daughter started soccer last weekend. And so, it's 5-year-old soccer. So it's just like, as my sister described it to me.
Oh, but there's some good 5-year-olds. Do not
You know what?
twisted.
You're totally right, Damon. So, but it's mostly just, my sister described it as bumblebees just bumping into each other. And it kind of is that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, which, it kind of is that. But you're right, Damon. There are a couple kids that are just like way better than other kids, right?
Absolutely.
But so I was, like warming up with my daughter, and I like threw my back out, and I was like, this is why I don't do things. Like, it's just why I don't do things. My back hurt all weekend just from playing soccer for a half hour with her. So, but yeah, so that's now we have soccer every weekend. So that's a whole new thing for us. I'm getting into the Damon life of sports all the time, but we only have 2 games a weekend. It's 2 games. I think
the problem is you're getting into it later than I did, and that's the problem. What?
Your kids were in earlier?
Well, yeah, I think I was younger than you. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's true. I'm a little bit of an older dad, I would say.
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah. So that doesn't help. When you're trying to do those athletic things. So, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, it's not too late though.
No, it's not too late. No.
Yeah.
I'm not
I went through that with my son too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like an old dad, but we definitely started a little bit later, So
you're not the 60-year-old with a kid in elementary, right?
No, I'm not that. But I mean, it's I'm getting to the point where it's like stuff like that. It takes a toll more on me than it used to, in my younger days. So, but anyway, my daughter enjoys it. So although all she wants to do is play goalie, but I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, let's wow, we've been talking for almost 25 minutes here, and we've talked about no Disney stuff. Okay.
Well, no, that's not true.
That's not true. We talked about planning. We talked about planning. You're right.
Yeah, and we also talked about the merch. So
Jeremy thinks this is going to be a tough question, by the way, and I don't think it's going to be.
Yeah, I think this is going to be easy, but let's see how this actually goes.
All right. Jeremy says you get to take over an entire WDW park for a private hours after hours event for a Welcome Home podcast listener meetup, but all 3 posts have to agree which park to have it in, discuss it now live, and don't stop until you come to a consensus. I'm going to guess the answer for all 3 of us is going to be EPCOT. That's what I'm thinking.
Absolutely. That's easy. I
mean, I like Magic Kingdom would have been second choice for me, but I would be perfectly fine with EPCOT.
I think Hollywood Studios probably would have been second choice for me.
Yeah, that would be number 2. Yeah.
I mean, but we agree on one, so that's the end of the question.
Yeah. See, Jeremy, I think, was hoping that we would just argue about something for a while, but like we all kind of love EPCOT, so
yeah. And now that Walcott's going away, I mean, that's even more of a obvious choice.
I mean, even though I'm not like totally on board with this, Moana. Like I just wanted more, but
I'm not even talking about the Moana thing. Just the fact
you're just talking about the walls in general.
The
The
maze
middle
of
of it,
walls
yeah.
is going away, right? Like,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
gonna be
no.
huge.
That's going to be definitely nice, right? Like to have all those walls down and be able to walk through the middle of Epcot again is going to be really nice. So it's so funny with you, David, because like you were like when they announced it and when it was happening, you're like,
I was very excited, but I thought there was going to be like, I thought there was going to be like this one like super cool thing, right? And it just wasn't that. It was just more of, yeah, okay, like that's a fountain. Okay, yeah, that's water. Okay, that's a sculpture.
I mean,
it's
but
a bit of a
interactive,
copy
though.
paste of Pandora.
But I mean, what's interactive about it? Like,
I mean, you're doing certain hand signals to make water do things. I mean, that's interactive. Yeah.
I mean, I guess, but I mean, Harry Potter was doing that 20 years ago. Like, you know, like I wanted something like, I wanted something like where like it made you feel like you were, you know, like the thing that we saw where it made you feel like you were in an ocean, like you were actually on a ship in the ocean, like, or like you were in a volcano, like something like that. I think would have been a little bit cool. I don't know. For me, it's perfect, I guess, for what they wanted and for where it is and all that. And it works. Yeah. I get it. I just felt like I wish there was something a little bit like, ooh, that's really cool. Like, we don't have that. We just go, oh, Moana's pretty. Like, yeah, it's interactive. Oh, it's relaxing. It's this. And that's fine. But I just wanted something like, oh, well, that's really cool. And I don't think it has that.
I don't mean, from the videos I've seen, and I haven't watched like a full walkthrough, but I've seen some videos of it. And I mean, I thought the interactions were pretty cool. Like, you know, like some of the things where people were like waving their arms up, and it was like, you know, bringing like a whole kind of like wave, and the whole thing with the water coming from through above the walkway, and then when you walk close to it, it spreads open so you can walk through like a curtain. Like that's,
but that's been around for 20 years.
I know. I'm not saying it's. Why does everything have to be innovative though? Like, why does
why do it?
It doesn't.
Like, if
have
it's not innovative, like, who are you, right? The whole point of Disney was to like do stuff that's new and exciting and people haven't seen before. Like, that's not.
But that's. I mean, not everything has to be innovative though.
Mm-hmm. But then why am I spending my money? It's not like Disney's cheap. I want to see stuff that's new. I don't want to see stuff I've seen 20 years ago. I mean,
I don't know.
Why not just shoot me some non-high def TV and, you know, non-high def movies, right? Like, it's the same thing, man. Just give me something new. I mean, that's my opinion. That's why I think that for me, it's just, I've seen it before. It's cool. And it's Moana. Like, you throw an IP on it and doesn't make it any different. And it's cool. Listen, they do a very good job at doing something from the past, and that's fine, right? Like, I think this is probably one of the better of those things, but it's not new. You literally just said a curtain, a sensor, right? Like, you're talking about a sensor. I mean, like, you're excited for a sensor?
No, I mean, that's it. I don't think I've seen that before. So, I mean, I think it's kind of.
You haven't seen it. You've never been to the water parks, then, right? Where that happens all the time?
No, I don't usually do water parks.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So it's been around for quite a while.
I'm not saying it hasn't been. I'm just saying it looks cool. I mean, I'm not saying it's like the most innovative thing in the world. I'm just, you know.
But that's what Disney's missing now. Like, give me something that's innovative. Like, so they did that big ball in Las Vegas, right?
Yeah.
That's super awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Have we ever seen that before?
No.
Okay.
I mean, kind of.
Give me something.
Yeah,
give me something
kind
like
of,
that.
But yeah.
Give me something like that in Disney. Why couldn't Disney do that?
I mean, they could, but they probably are not going to drop $3 billion on something like that.
But that would have been something that would have had it pretty excited.
I mean, $3 billion.
I mean, that is awesome, though.
Although I think Becky shared in the group where a picture of one of the panes was already broken. Like,
I'm sure.
It does seem like
the upkeep on that. You know, listen, at the end of the day, Disney is a business, right? So,
yeah,
you know, they're not going to do something like that. But that's what I miss. I felt like there was so many things that they used to do that were like, oh, that's really cool. Like, we've never seen that before. And that's not Moana. And I think I'm going to enjoy it. It's just not innovative. So they can be separate things. Like, I can still enjoy something that's not innovative. I just want more. For the prices there, I just want more, man.
I think the hard part is that the more, like, over the vast amount of time that Disney has been in operation, the iteration of ideas and stuff like that, it's getting harder and harder to find truly new unique things.
Yeah, but that ball in Las Vegas, I felt like was pretty unique. Like maybe we've seen
it's a curved
screen.
Scale. It's a giant curved TV screen. We've seen curved screens before,
but not of that magnitude.
No, not a whole state.
Okay, so here's the thing: what if you gave us Moana, but like the magnitude was like, oh my goodness, this is bigger than the biggest. If it was the biggest fountain in the world.
Well, you're talking about something indoor at that point, though, right? Like you're talking about you want something that's like feel like you're in an ocean or like.
But it doesn't have to be indoor.
I know, but I mean, they were working with pretty limited.
It's harder to control.
Yeah. I mean,
elements going and stuff.
Sure, but you again, that's how I feel about it. So I'm sure it will be fine, and it is what it is.
Yeah, from the people,
EPCOT is still my favorite. So
yeah, from people that I've seen that have done it, have said it's really nice and cool and fun. So. I almost see it as just like it's like an advanced splash pad, basically.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, all I'm seeing
is
it's a place where I can walk through there and cool off for 5 minutes
and that's not a bad thing at all.
That's not a bad thing at all. Yeah, they need that kind of stuff, right? I mean, like that's good. I mean, because they kind of got rid of those little splash pads.
I wonder, have we seen if there's any limit to the amount of people in it once?
Yeah, there is a capacity. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, so I saw there was a capacity sign. I think it was like a couple hundred people or something like that. And I saw people, I saw people saying they could see it getting backed up, and it probably will. But I think there's a capacity sign out there for like a couple hundred people. It's not a ton of people that can go through it all at once. So
I think that'll be the case initially, but give this a year and it'll kind of level out. Like
probably
like all things do, right? Like it'll settle down.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a walkthrough attraction, right? So, and really, you don't have a whole lot of walkthrough things anymore, right? Especially new stuff that's walkthrough. It's just like not something they really do a lot of anymore, I feel like. Just trying to...
or they try and... you're right. I think a lot of the walkthrough stuff kind of gets absorbed into interactive cues now.
Yeah.
Seems to be where the energy goes, right? Which,
exactly.
Yeah, that's... kind of thinking about it now, that's kind of sucky. Because people don't always want to ride whatever ride it is, but you want to experience the interactive queue. So it's like, I
agree.
There is some merit to splitting them out.
I agree. I'm excited to check this out. Like to the point where we were thinking about going when we go in November, going on a Christmas party day and then bailing out, at 4:00 when they kick us out of Magic Kingdom and going over to EPCOT to check it out. But I don't know if we're going to do that or not, because obviously park hopper is a lot more expensive. And it's already, I think it was going to be like $230 a head for park hoppers for that time of year, which is
just crazy. To go over for the Moana stuff, or for like,
not worth it.
A couple hours. Yeah.
Yeah, literally. Cause it'd be for like, we'd be basically paying an extra like $60 for like 4 hours, and my daughter might even be like spent at that point. Who knows? Right. So,
yeah.
So anyway, let's get into some other things though here. So DVC news: the price of one-time points has dropped. Disney actually did a price cut. Wow,
that's weird. But so on the front of this though, they say that there was that option where you could trade in your first, or you could get more money back on a new DVC contract because you basically sell back your first time points.
Oh
right?
yeah.
But they've dropped the buyback on that to $20 a point as well. So it's funny how they haven't just dropped the one-time use points. There's also, if you're planning to sell back points to Disney, which again is not something that I don't think it happens very often, but they're buying back at a reduced rate too, which, I guess that things have to get eaten up somewhere. Yeah. But it's just funny that, when I first read it, I was like, oh, wow, they're actually dropping stuff. It's like, oh, there's the kicker. They're also not giving you as much money if you try to sell back your points.
Yeah, it's funny because I kind of forgot that one-time use points had gone up to $22 because like last I remembered it was like $18 or $19. Mm-hmm. But I forgot that like they had increased them fairly recently to 22. So now we're down to 20 point. But, back when it debuted in 2010, it was 15. And then 2017, it was 17, and then up to 19, and now 22, and now back to 20. So it's just interesting. I wouldn't have expected that to go back down again. But For those that don't know, so like one-time use points like are basically just kind of extra points you can buy. Like if you like, maybe you're 10 points short of, hitting what you need to get a certain room, you can basically buy these as just like extra points to use towards that reservation. So it's just a one-time, as it's called, one-time use points. So
it's up to 24 points per year that you can do that with. Yeah. So when they say one-time use, it's not like one time through the contract. It's per use year.
Yeah.
But you can only do it once per use year and only up to 24 points. So
I think it's per membership too. So if you have separate like I have 2 membership members, I think I could probably do it twice, but I'd have to double check that. Don't take my word on that.
Yeah. I'm not going to spend money to test that.
Yeah. I need to get myself on one membership. This whole 2 membership thing is a pain. So one of these days I'm going to get around to doing that.
Moving some points to the right use year and all that.
Yeah, just it's such a pain to have 2 different use years and 2 different memberships, and just it's a whole thing. So yeah. Anyway, so I know Damon, you wanted to really talk about this. You're excited to talk about this. So
what do I want to talk about?
The first look at the neighborhood coming to Cotino, a Storyliving community.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about this, and it will be interesting.
Well, we can talk about it right now. This is what we got. Yeah, this is what
I thought you were going to lay the groundwork here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll lay the groundwork. Well, so we've talked about this before, right? So they announced this probably earlier this year, I want to say, which is basically they're making like a planned community that's like, I don't want to call it Disney themed. It's like Disney Imagineers are designing it, and then they're doing.
But it is Disney themed because even the dog park is like Disneyed up, right?
Yeah, it's called Laughing Place Ranch.
Yeah, true. It is Disney themed, right?
It's Disney themed, yeah.
Yeah. So this is like a community that you could live in if you want to like live in like a Disney created place. There's going to be 300 homes. This is going to be in California. And they announced this, like I said, last year. And I'm going to be honest, when they announced this, I thought this was one of those things that they were going to propose as a concept and was never going to happen. But it actually looks like it's happening, which is interesting. But so we have some different details here. So they're mentioning that there's a view of Cotina Bay, which will feature.
This is going to be interesting because it says it's got some crystal lagoons technology. So in theory, it's going to be clear. Is it going to be swimmable though? That was what I couldn't figure out.
I don't know.
That's what worries me is when they say there's some technology in the water. That means.
Probably not.
Probably don't want to be in that water.
Well, no, because I think Crystal Lagoon's technology is used in stuff that is swimmable.
I'm Googling this.
Yeah, I believe that it is.
It basically creates turquoise water, right? So yeah, no, you're right, Damon, because the homepage here for this company is a big giant pool.
I looked it up last week.
Yeah.
Or whenever you sent this.
Well, no, you sent it to me.
I sent it to you. So I looked it up whenever I sent that. Yeah. So
you sent it to me and you're like, I want to talk about this. I was like, okay.
Yeah. So it's got people swimming, right? So I'm really like, I think that's really cool. I think if that happens, that looks awesome. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's what I started to think about. The HOA.
Oh God.
This place is going to be a disaster.
So high.
It's going to be this weird pull of Disney versus HOA, I feel like, that I just don't know how that's going to work. Is Disney going to be the HOA? Are they going to farm it out to a company? Is it going to be something where it's eventually handed back over to the residents? Because so what happens like in a normal community, I guess I'm going to say normal, but I'm sure it doesn't always work this way. But a lot of times what will happen is, as it's being built, the HOA will be run by a third-party company, right? And then once everything's finished being built and things like that, depending how many years later and things are all wrapped up, it's kind of handed back to the residents, right? And that's where you get these boards like Del Boca Vista, right? And things like that, where Seinfeld reference there. So where you can get...
I knew the reference.
Yeah. Well, yeah, just for other people that didn't. So, where you can get like this HOA that's then run by the community and voted on, things like that. Okay. But what happens at a place like this where you have the IP of Disney, which needs to be protected? Is it always going to be the HOA run by a third party company that's in tune with Disney? Is it going to be run by Disney? Will it be handed back to the residents? And then what does that mean? That's where I was like, I don't see how this works. And now, listen, they must have something that's happening in Florida at the place in Florida. So I just wish I knew more about how that worked.
So,
yeah, go ahead, Trevor.
I guess, I live in a community where we have like an HOA and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've lived here for almost 20 years now. And like when we moved in, we got a whole bunch of documentation around like there was like, they built like fences and stuff in certain parts of the neighborhood. And like there are fences that line people's property. And they were very clear about you cannot modify these fences. You can't paint them. You can't do anything because they were all part of. And so it was like a 10-year contract that people had to agree to that was like, this is going to stay the way it is for this time. And then now it's gotten to a point where, some people have modified these, like, because it was all these fences that like ran along the main road that made it look very, all consistent. And I can see Disney or, I can see something where when they hand it over, there will be probably a contract or something written that says, you will not modify your property this way, or, certain aspects of the community will stay this way for the next 30 years. Like I can see Disney doing it, but like in the same way that our community did, but it'll be like, you can't touch this for 30 or 50 years or something like that.
Well,
but yeah, like you're right, Damon, it becomes a very big pain in the butt for people living in the community, because then, or the things that I've seen happen, and I think, we've all heard stories about homeowners associations is, somebody goes to, put something up on their property and somebody on the HOA determines that it's, inappropriate or whatever. And then, further to that is, the whole layer of, well, it's not Disney or whatever, right? Like, yeah, I can see this being a bit of a nightmare to live in.
That's
personally.
what I'm saying.
Well, I just went to the website they have, right? So there's a website called storylivingbyDisney.com. And according to this website, it says legendary Disney service throughout your journey with Story Living by Disney community. Cast members will strive to deliver the same friendly Disney service you've come to expect during the sales experience. And then it says, once you become a homeowner, the community management team will work to reflect the tradition of Disney care. It almost sounds like they're doing what Golden Oaks does in Florida, where it's like, it's Disney kind of runs the HOA, like, right? Like that's,
and then if Disney runs the HOA, that's good from a theming consistency standpoint. But as Trevor said, which we, a bunch of people have come to realize, what if you want to do something? So Disney sending you bills if they find that there's one too many weeds in your yard, and then what are you doing?
Yeah.
Right. Like it's like,
you know what though, Damon, this might be one of those communities where the HOA covers all your landscaping and all that.
Maybe.
Right? Like,
but
yeah, I mean,
again, people still do want to do like, I have my home and I want to, do certain things. And obviously, like building structures and stuff, we have to go through permits and all that to build a structure. But like just landscaping, it's like, I want to do what I want to do to make it mine. And if there's an entity standing over top going, nope, this doesn't line up with our vision of it or whatever, like
Disney sending you a bill because you left your garbage can out.
Yeah.
There's this Mickey Mouse letterhead
they'll start stopping you at the parks. Be like, sir, we cannot let you into Magic Kingdom. You have that bill for $50
you pay your fines.
Garbage can out.
Until you pay your fines. Yeah.
It's funny because you're right, Damon. It kind of seems like I know they're selling it, and I don't want to completely like say that this is a bad idea, because I think there is definitely still a market for it, and I see like there's a whole part about there's some 55 plus living going into this community, which I think is great too. But it seems like for some people this is going to be a bit of a monkey's paw wish. Where it's like, I'm going to live in a Disney community. And then you get there and it's like, you live in a Disney community, which, you don't realize how much Disney does like to control things.
Well, we haven't heard anything really bad about Golden Oaks, but
that's true.
That's the other thing. So I mean, maybe it'll be fine. I mean, I feel like it would be like, because at our old place that we lived at, we had an HOA and they put on events, you did like, pumpkin carving and things like that. Like Disney could really like,
oh, they said they're going to do all that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
They're going to have Disney-themed activities all the time is what they said.
Yeah, like Disney IP all the time. Sounds kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, they said they say in here, where did it go? I had it. Where they have like all sorts of activities that they're gonna do. There's like a club. Oh yeah, so they have
Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah, so like there's the what they're calling the Parr House, which is the they're doing for the Incredibles 2 house. That really cool one that they're building, and then that's going to be like a venue and an event space kind of thing, and then they're going to have they're going to have a beachfront clubhouse. So Damon, maybe that answers your question, right? Because they're saying a beachfront clubhouse. I'm assuming that's going to be on that lake that they're talking about, or the
one would think.
Yeah. A fitness pool, a fitness center, a pool, and a pickleball court, a restaurant, and more. Disney's curated Disney.
Wait, they said one pickleball
events,
court for 300 houses?
Yeah.
Oh, that's already a recipe for disaster.
Well, there might be multiple ones. It just says pickleball court, so I'm assuming
it is a court or courts.
It doesn't. It's not plural, but they do say they're going to have multiple parks. So I would assume, yeah. But it does also say too, curated Disney signature events, performances, and seasonal celebrations. So obviously they're going to be doing a lot of Disney type things there. So, but you're right. The entry fees is going to be outrageous.
Yeah. Is there any like, do we know what the houses are going to cost?
Oh, I mean, I don't know if they're going to be Golden Oaks level. Probably, right? You think it's California? It's like a really fancy community. I mean, these are probably going to be $1 million plus houses. I would think. They haven't said though. They haven't said.
I'm going to sign up.
You're going to sign up?
I'm going to sign up.
You're going to join the list here?
Let us know. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to join the list here.
All right. Well, there you go. You got mountains in the background too. It's really nice. It looks really nice. Bocce ball courts. Hey,
I'm going to wait, I have to. So learning about the Storyliving by Disney by selecting one of the following options, the Cotino community or future Storyland by, can't I sign up? Yeah, but it's an either.
It's a one or other. It's not.
Why can't I sign up for both?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to sign up for this one and see.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, I think if this one goes well, this is probably just the first of more. You know, I mean, and you could see them doing this in Florida somewhere. I mean, I think, I can see it. Maybe. I mean, they already did it really with Golden Oak, right? But this is
at a different price point. But yeah. Well, that we know of, we don't even know that yet. Maybe this will be exactly the same.
You don't think that they would take the opportunity to expand into other states, like?
Oh, I could definitely see them outside
I think
of
there's
Florida,
states that this wouldn't work in. Yeah. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, probably.
I guess I'm not in the States. I don't see where the challenges are, but okay.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
I mean, they probably think to themselves that their biggest fans are near the parks, right? So like the states that are in the parks are people that know the parks. But I mean, I don't know. They could probably put them in other places. I mean, Walt Disney himself was going to build a ski lodge. I think was in Colorado he was going to build at one point. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But yeah, I don't remember exactly where it was. I think it was, it was going to be in California. I'm sorry. It was going to be in California. So yeah, I mean, they were going to do other things like this. So it's not surprising to me that they're doing this. But again, this is one of those things that I'm going to wait till I actually see it, you know? Not that I think they're going to cancel it. It just, it just feels like one of those things.
Yeah, see what actually comes of it versus what because there's a lot of stuff being sold here for sure. There's they're making it sound like there's going to be this whole town center and there's going to be all these the
artisans
beach,
and stores and a beach and
yeah. So it's not to say that Disney won't do it, but I feel like it's not going to, or if they run into any kind of technical difficulties along the way, you'll get it, and it kind of like any other Disney project is that you get like a watered down version of it, right?
Yeah, like budget eventually comes into play and things get cut in. Yeah,
like you wanted Disney Springs, but you got Downtown Disney kind of thing. For anyone that's been to both sides, you know what I'm talking about because Disney Springs is way bigger than Downtown Disney.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and do our ad, and then we'll talk about a couple other things. Unless Damon, you have anything else you want to talk to about this or around this?
No.
Okay.
All right. This week we have our sponsor is DVC Resale Market, a World of DVC company who is the leader in the DVC resale industry, with 13 former Disney Vacation Club guides and 3 former Disney Vacation Club quality assurance managers. If you're thinking of buying DVC, browse the largest selection of DVC resale listings anywhere with DVC experts on hand 7 days a week to answer your questions. If you're thinking of selling, turn to the friendly professionals at DVC Resale Market, where over 98% of listings sell within 30 days. In 2022, DVC Resale Market helped over 4,400 families join or add on to their memberships. Go to dvcresalemarket.com/welcome home or call 1-844-DVC-PROS. That's 382-7767. And when you speak to them, be sure to let them know that Welcome Home sent you.
All right. So we got some new EPCOT merch. I put this on here. I had to talk about this because
I saw this too. I showed this to my wife the other day because it definitely caught my eye.
There's definitely some cool stuff in this new collection here. So I don't know if I'd rock this button down. It's a little much for me. I know there are people that are really into these, like, I don't even know what these are called, right? Like, what would you call this? Just a button down, like
a Hawaii. It looks like a Hawaiian shirt, but it's EPCOT themed. Yeah. It's like a cast member shirt, actually.
It does kind of look like a cast member shirt.
If that's what you're going for, cool.
Yeah. But I have to say I like the shirt that the guy's wearing that kind of looks like our golden button shirt, where it has
the t-shirt.
The t-shirt the guy's wearing that just has the EPCOT, like has Spaceship Earth in the upper right hand corner, and then on the back has all like the different neighborhoods. Like, that's a pretty cool shirt. I'd buy that and wear that.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. And actually the sweatshirt the girl in the picture's wearing is pretty cool too. I could see my wife buying that. Although it's one of those Spirit jerseys. Oh, I hate the Spirit jerseys. It's probably $80 too. It's like, and then, this bag, was a Dooney and Burke again? This is Dooney and Burke, right?
Yeah.
It is.
Basically the same design as the button down shirt, right? I mean, it's like, I think it's the same print.
Yeah.
I just don't want Groot on my bag.
So it's funny because my wife said the same thing except about Nemo. So she was good with everything else on it except for Nemo. She's like, I don't want Nemo. I'm like, what?
Why not Nemo?
I don't know. She didn't explain to me.
And I just don't want Groot. Yeah.
I like the EPCOT tag that's on that bag though. Just that leather tag. Like, get me a leather keychain that I could use that's that exact thing.
Just that,
yeah, right? Wouldn't you buy that? That's like awesome.
Yeah.
Like a cool, like embroidered, like EPCOT leather keychain thing. And then what is this Spaceship Earth thing? Is this just like a light up thing?
Some cluttery junk is what it is.
Lamp. It lights up like Spaceship Earth does, but so it's like they call it a light up figurine, which, the intent is you put it on a shelf somewhere and it just
collects dust,
but
just sits there and glows. Yeah.
Okay, but is it like the little point lights? Like, it's the lights on the outside, right? It's like doesn't just light up like a lamp. It's like the little dot lights, right?
Yeah, but
I mean, that's cool.
Still like a lamp.
Yeah. You don't think so, David?
I mean, what am I doing with it?
Yeah, it's just sitting on a shelf somewhere being a decorative piece. Yeah, it's not.
Need a nightlight.
Yeah.
I mean, for a nightlight for somebody's kid's room, maybe, but who wants Spaceship Earth for their kid for a nightlight?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
It's kind of big too. Like,
it is big, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really big. Like, showing it in her hands, like Spaceship Earth is like as big as her head. Like, I mean, that thing is big. I think go ahead. Sorry.
I'm wondering if there's a bit of a forced perspective going on with that.
Could be.
Might be.
Because it seems like she's holding it a little further forward, so maybe it's not as big as we think it is.
That's possible. I will say if you pushed a button and it played like the whole show that it does on Spaceship Earth at night, like that whole light show, like with the song and everything, I would get it. I think it would be kind of a cool piece to have. I would put that on my shelf. Like, yeah. I don't know, but I don't know what it does. I don't know. It probably just lights up. It probably doesn't do the whole show.
To Damon's point, it's also, real estate in the house is at a premium. So, finding a place to put it is probably the hardest part.
Yeah, that would definitely be I just pulled it up to see if it was on the store, but it's not. Although it's on eBay. Wait,
of course.
Wait, is it on eBay? What is this? There's a bunch of others. There's a bunch of different Spaceship Earth things. I'm trying to find.
Is this stuff? This stuff is available now, or?
I think so. Okay, so this is not cool. All right, No, wait, this one's got a Figment one. Okay, wait, is Figment on the other side of this? No. Okay, so this is a different one. This is a different one that I'm looking at. I wanted to see how much it cost and how much it lit up. That's what I was trying to find out. But the one that I found has Figment laying on it, and it looks like it only lights up on the sides, just with like lights going up the side of it, which if that's the case, then no, I'm not interested. I want all of the little dots on there, those small lights they have all over Spaceship Earth. That's what I want.
I feel like they're not going to do the little dots. I think what they'll do is the cheap way to do it is that you just have the inside light up, and because you've got the triangles on the outside, it creates that effect of the dots. But yeah, I can see them doing something like that with this, which, again, would be a little disappointing.
No, I agree with that. I get that.
Now, the last thing on here is these pins, which I will admit, these are giving off a 90s Epcot vibe, which I'm absolutely okay with.
I mean, I think that everything they've been doing lately has been 80s, 90s Epcot vibe, right? Like they've been really trying to bring back that nostalgic vibe of Epcot.
I feel like it's been more like 80s, like older stuff. This feels a lot like the color schemes are very 90s.
Very 90s, I agree.
The one thing that's kind of throwing me off is that they added Stitch into the pin set.
That is kind of weird, considering Stitch does not appear anywhere in Epcot.
Yeah, it's like they ran out of characters and they were like, I guess Stitch.
Well, even Minnie and Mickey being there is kind of weird, right? Like,
no, I mean, Minnie and Mickey they're
just ubiquitous. They're just everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Because like they're in, like you see them in like the mural and stuff, right? Like there is, like in Creation Shop, like there is Mickey and stuff like that. So that's
true.
That's not a stretch.
Where's Groot though? I want a Groot pin. Give me a Groot.
Yeah, I mean, why didn't they do Groot there?
Or a Rocket one. Do a Rocket one. Would your wife have been more? Oh wait, your wife didn't want Finding Nemo in there. I wonder if Damon would have been more okay if it was Rocket instead of Groot.
Yeah,
but probably not. You probably don't want a raccoon on your $300 Dooney and Burke bag.
Why not?
I mean, I would if I was carrying a bag around, but
I mean, if you're buying an Epcot bag, you're kind of accepting that. That you're getting a certain, amount of characters, and Rocket is, and I guess this is or actually I shouldn't even say that, because on the bag they have Groot and they have Star-Lord on there, so it's not that they're like drawing the line between Marvel and Disney IPs. It's just a weird. The pin choice is just weird, I guess. So like
Well, interestingly, it actually says in here, featuring your favorite Epcot characters and a fan favorite surprise character, Stitch. So they do call out that they made it like a surprise thing, I guess. But again,
why?
Yeah,
like what? Like Stitch, of all things, like Stitch is. I think the most you see Stitch is in Tomorrowland, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I feel like it was a weird, and I know they try to phrase it as, here we got you an extra thing, but I feel like the impression I get was that they wanted to make this was this 8-pin set that they wanted to make, and they didn't have an 8th character, and they kind of rolled the dice and came up with
what they could have done is gone like old school and done like one of the ogres from like from Maelstrom, or like do that. Yeah, there
is other stuff they could have done. It's just
like they completely left Mission Space out of this because they're just like, okay, nobody cares about Mission Space, right? Like,
but I mean,
no
these are all
characters, I get it, but,
right? Yeah. So it's all attractions that have characters, and again, on the bag they touch on Guardians of the Galaxy, but in this pin set, no, like they've touched everything else. There's Ratatouille, there's Frozen, there's Journey into Imagination, Living Seas.
Yeah.
So then Stitch.
It is random. It does,
right?
It feels really random. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. So let's keep moving here. I know you're not really into the cruise ships, but there is the new cruise ship that was they talked a little bit more about at D23, and which is the Disney Treasure. Yeah. Now here's the thing, though, right? So they, with the Disney Treasure, and then they do this on the other ships too, but they've put a lot of park stuff into the into the treasure, right?
Mhm.
So they have this little list of things that you'll notice on the new ship that are park centric, and one of them is like a Jungle Cruise theme, right? So they have the Skipper Society, which on the Disney Treasure, which will have like the same foliage as the Disneyland ride. So first of all, I think it's very cool that they've made a Skipper Society, right? Although it's weird that they call it Skipper Society and they're not doing the Society of Explorers and Adventurers. Like, I
was going to say, like, C is.
Why didn't they do C? Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of weird. Maybe they'll do like nods to C within there. I don't know.
Yeah, I have to wonder, because the whole C thing, like, it's very prevalent in some of the international parks.
Yeah.
And I wonder if they're trying to draw a line between the international and, like, or if it's not that they're trying to draw a line, but, you know, that they're trying to make it unique so that it doesn't seem, or I guess it's easier for them to separate it and have it be its own thing to the North American parks, because they don't know what they're going to do in the international parks.
Yeah,
right?
That makes sense.
So
I was really excited when, remember a couple years ago, and this was was it pre-pandemic or was it during the pandemic? And maybe it's gotten scrapped since then, where they were talking about they were going to do like a anthology series around like the Society of Adventurers and Explorers. I mean, Explorers and Adventurers. But I haven't heard anything about that since. Like, and it's kind of a bummer because like that was going to be really cool, because like I feel like C is one of those Disney IP things that has like a kind of a really cool developed story, but like is not talked about a lot unless you're like a super fan, you know?
It has lore, but
yeah,
but they haven't fleshed it out into a proper universe it has the potential, but you're right, it's just not there yet.
Yeah, and it's also just one of those things that I feel like the casual Disney fan just does not know about, right? So like, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't realize that the Jungle Cruise actually has a backstory, which
exactly.
Maybe people listening to this podcast are now going, "Wait, what?"
Google the Society of Explorers and Adventurers if you want to know more about this. But it's definitely a very cool thing. Yeah. So also with the Skipper Society piece, one of the things I thought was cool is that they're going to have the music playing in the venue, which will probably include our theme music.
Yay. Yay, we're on a cruise ship.
We're on a cruise ship. It will also include the spiels from the Jungle Cruise attraction from around the world. So you'll hear skipper voices from across the globe in English, Dutch, French, Cantonese, and more. That's kind of cool.
That is awesome.
I like that idea, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, this lounge looks really cool. I'm glad that they made like a Jungle Cruise themed bar. I'm surprised it took them this long to do it, because there's so much cool stuff to do. I mean, they have the the Skipper's Canteen at Magic Kingdom, but like,
and I mean, Trader Sam is kind of in the same vein, right?
Trader Sam feels like a combination of Jungle Cruise and Tiki Room to me, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Trader Sam is kind of I guess it's closer to Tiki Room than Jungle
I think it's
Cruise,
kind of both. I mean, it mixes both in there, right? Because but you're right. You're totally right. So yeah, you do have Trader Sam's, and you do have you do have the Skipper Canteen, which I've only been to once, but we went right after it opened, so maybe it's different now. But we were kind of hoping when we went to Skipper Canteen that the waiters were going to have that kind of like snarky like sense of humor with you, but it was just like a regular waiter, and I don't know, maybe it's gotten better. But yeah, I was kind of hoping that, and they made a couple corny jokes, but it wasn't like, I was hoping for like a full on like Jungle Cruise-esque spiel,
Yeah, I think if you went to, or I got that at Skipper's Canteen.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Sorry, I thought you were talking at Trader Sam's. Sorry, I got confused.
No, I was talking about Skipper's Canteen, but I haven't been there since it opened, basically. Like,
right,
we went there a week after it opened.
Okay, yeah. When we were there in 2019, it was good. Like they were on it.
Okay,
for sure.
Okay. So maybe I need to go back again. I guess.
Yeah, and I guess I was thinking about Trader Sam's, because I guess I've never heard anything about how the cast members behave there.
At Trader Sam's,
I feel like it would be like the same kind of thing, or I guess maybe in my head I want to believe it's the same kind of thing. But I don't know. I
mean, it's kind of just like wacky there. You know what I mean? Like they don't do like spiel, but it's more like, have you not been to Trader Sam's? I thought you had been.
No. we've had intent to go there, and actually on our last trip we did, and there was a hurricane. So
the hurricane ruined
and multiple things happened on our last trip that stopped us from doing the majority of what we wanted to do.
You had a rough last trip. But yeah, no, you should definitely do it, even if you're not a big drinker, which, I'm not a big drinker and I know you don't really drink. So, but like, you should at least do it. Cause like the cast members there are fun, right? Like they do funny things and like, there's all sorts of special effects that happen and certain drinks that you order and they yell stuff out. And it's a whole thing. Yeah. I love Trader Sam's.
So back to the Skipper Society. I'm reading a little further down here and it looks like it'll have its own jungle boat. Yeah. Which is called M's Empress, based on the Ems River, where the Disney Treasure will make its first voyage to sea.
That's cool.
So, yeah, it's neat that they're kind of doing that, and I like that it's like the concept art. It has the like the luggage thing going on, but it's very, like you said, it's that Jungle Cruise vibe. But I'm also getting a little bit of like almost steampunk.
Yeah.
With the bar in the background and everything, which, that makes sense. Yeah, because reading further down here, they're talking about the Periscope pub, which is
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Yeah, Nautilus. Yes. Yeah,
that's so cool. I love that they're doing that. Man, again, they're doing they're really going old school with this, right? Like, I would love to go to the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea themed, restaurant, and they also is going to be like I've read somewhere that they're going to have like an actual periscope in there. I don't know what you can see through it, but
so would it be a periscope or I guess it's still a periscope, but it would be going down. Like, are you talking like underwater? Or would it just be like,
I don't know. It's just a periscope. I saw something about it. There's no pictures in it here, but yeah,
that would actually be kind of cool if you could like look under the boat. Although
it'd be kind of
cool and
disconcerting.
Yeah. Part of me wants to see what's under the boat, and part of me also has seen all of those like horror movies where the shark is under the boat.
Yeah, I would think it would be above, right? Because like when it's in a submarine, you're like when you put the periscope up, you're seeing what's above the water, right? So I would think you're seeing what's above the water, but I don't know. Maybe they'll like just feed in like a video feed or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it'll probably be, or you'll probably see like a like a kraken swimming by or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I just think that's very cool. And then there's also a Figment thing too. So it's specific to the Tomorrow Tower Suite, which the guests will encounter Figment in a variety of places in the suite. This is obviously a room that I will never be staying in because it probably costs more than my mortgage, for a year or several years.
Where is this?
This is they have this like one of the stacks on the ship is fake, and so the past two ships they built these suites into it. So they're like one-off suites, and so they cost like a fortune, but they're like 2-level like full-on suites.
Right.
So
and this looks almost like the lounge.
Yeah.
In the Imagination Pavilion or the DVC lounge.
Yeah, it's an EPCOT themed suite that's 2,000 square feet. for a cruise ship room, that's crazy.
That's a lot of space. Yeah,
that is a lot of space. And then it sleeps 8. It has an elevator inside it. So yeah,
that fixture.
Yeah,
like that fixture in there is amazing.
So until I hit the lottery, I'm never staying here. So
pretty much,
I think even if I hit the lottery, I wouldn't pay for it. I can't imagine how much this would cost.
We need to make some friends that have access to things like this.
Yeah, let me. I just want to see like how much the Tower Suite on the Wish costs. Oh, $30,000 for a single cruise for the one on the Wish.
Sweet. So yeah, I know if anyone wants to hook us up, I mean, just let us know.
Although Inside the Magics is 21,000, the slightly more reasonable. Oh wait, that says for two adults. Never mind. So, oh man, yeah, $30,000 is what I'm seeing. Which listen, if you're splitting it amongst 8 people and you have a lot of money, I guess it's not terrible. I don't know. It's a lot of money.
Yeah, that is a lot of money.
Yeah. So anyway, I just think this is kind of cool. Some of the stuff they're doing on here, especially that they're putting a lot of the park stuff into it. Not that they haven't been doing that, but like this, it seems like they specifically decided to do more park stuff here. So
it is nice that, like, you know, being Disney themed is one thing, but actually like kind of tying the Disney parks into it, you know, just because it further extends. I know a lot of people, you know, say that they'll go on a Disney cruise and then come back and then go to Disney World for a couple of days and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is just further keeping you in that bubble, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about this Disneyland Paris hotel, or should we just skip off and go to food?
I mean, yeah, it is in Disney Paris. So again, a place that I don't know if either of us are going to go there anytime soon.
I mean, it looks absurdly fancy. Like it looks nicer than the Grand Floridian.
Yeah, I was going to say it looks like an even fancier Grand Floridian.
Yeah. Like it looks like I feel uncomfortable here, like I do in the Grand Floridian. So
yeah, I don't want to touch any of the, like, the beds. The bedding looks like, you know,
looks like somebody ironed it.
Like, yeah, like you shouldn't be touching it. yeah,
that's 100% true. Like
they are very beautiful suites, though. Like,
oh my gosh,
like, like crazy. Like, I mean, yeah, it looks like a palace.
It
honestly.
Really does.
Like it's
this one that has the chandelier in the middle of like the living room. My God. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know how much that room costs, but it's probably a lot.
And then is this
look this up?
This is the
this is a 5-star resort, by the way. So
yeah, I'm looking at the restaurant, which again looks just crazy fancy. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, let's see here. I want to see what the cost of one of these rooms is here. Rooms and suites. All right, let's see what we got here, Trevor. So the Castle Club rooms. Oh, and then you have the Rapunzel signature suite. Wow. Okay. Oh, I want the Royal Elsa suite. You can't.
Is that the one with the chandelier in the middle?
Yeah, that's the one with the chandelier. Yeah, that's the one with the chandelier in the middle. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man.
Wait, that's a pool.
That's a pool? What?
So okay, further down where
I thought it was a table.
Where it says tailor-made luxury experiences, the picture right above that.
Oh my gosh.
That's a pool.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, let's see here.
I mean, this place, it's far too bougie for me.
It's too, yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. Like this might be a little bit too much for me.
I couldn't stay here.
I'll
be honest.
I feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, I would just like sit politely in one of the chairs and not touch anything the whole time I was
there. Oh man. So let's see. You know what though? Like, okay, this is actually not terrible for just like a regular room there. So for one night there and 2 days of park tickets for 2 adults is $1,163 US. So that's not not terrible.
That's not actually not bad. I mean,
that's just a regular room though. So
right, but I mean that's still on par with some of the deluxe resorts. But then yeah, you're right. Getting into these rooms.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to that. I'm trying to get to how much one of those rooms will cost. That's what I want to figure out. They don't like let you get there until later. So like they're trying to hide how much it costs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't put that up front for some reason.
You know what though, Trevor? Okay, hold on. So the deluxe room is only $1,800. I mean, not terrible, but I can't find the suites. It seems like it's not something you can book online. Maybe something you have to call for. So
right.
Yeah, to book other room types, you have to call. There you go. Of
course.
There you go. Yeah.
And I mean, the other thing too is that this is a flight to Paris.
There's also that. Yeah. Listen, my wife and I have as our entire bucket list currently consists of going to every Disney park around the world at some point. Mm-hmm. Right now, that's not going to happen until later in life when my daughter goes to college or, when we're retired or whatever. But our long-term goal is to go to every Disney park at some point. So, it's probably something we will do at some point, just not anytime soon. My daughter's only 5, so I've got at least another 13 years or so before she goes to college. So then maybe we can think about going. So,
I mean, You never know, because my brother ended up in Tokyo Disney with his daughters when they were 7 and 9 because of he ended up going to a wedding there.
Oh, okay.
So,
I mean, I guess you never know how you can end up somewhere, right?
Yeah, it kind of ended up like they were there for the wedding, but then they had time and they're like, we're going to Disney. So
that's what I would do. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, you never know why you may end up in another country for something like that. But like you said earlier, I think this kind of stuff we'll put it on the win the lottery list next to the Disney Treasure.
The Disney Treasure Tower Suite.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap up here with some Disneyland food, huh?
Right. There's
good.
Carnation Cafe on here. That's exciting.
Yeah. Cafe. By the way, I've been reading reviews of the new Moana Tiana restaurant, and apparently the food is amazing there. That's from what I've seen. I don't know if any of our listeners have gone, but yeah.
Like the food in like the New Orleans area was always good in my opinion in Disneyland. So I mean, yeah, it better be good.
it better be, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna start at River Belle Terrace.
Yes.
So some soon to be favorites join the tasty lineup, including chicken pot pie soup.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that sounds pretty good.
Yep.
Barbecue burnt ends pasta. I love burnt ends.
That sounds perfect.
Yeah, that sounds. Although I don't think it's pictured here, but
no. But I mean, you can just imagine. Just take your burnt ends and throw them in pasta.
Some pasta,
with some sauce. Like,
yeah,
that's easy.
I'm always a fan of biscuits and gravy. I don't know, is that a thing in Canada? Sausage, gravy, and biscuits.
It's not very big. There are places that do it. It's not like a huge thing up here, though.
Okay, I make a mean sausage, gravy, and biscuits. It's obvious.
Right.
It's very prevalent in the South, right? Like it's one of my favorite breakfast meals. But I and something that I make quite frequently. But yeah, I love that. And then a country Cuban sandwich. Okay, I don't know what makes it country, but
yeah. All right, that's already adding to River Belle Terrace. Again, I haven't been there in a while, but it was good food. It was definitely. We stopped there to eat because it's kind of near Pirates, Adventureland Pirates kind of area. It's fantastic view, out towards Rivers of America and all that as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, good view with good food. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Yeah. So I think the things that are actually pictured here are the River Belle short stack, which is a short stack of pancakes, maple syrup, berry compote with a side of bacon or sausage. Pretty standard fare, right? Like nothing special about that, really. It looks like this roasted summer squash, which is heirloom tomato sauce, heritage green succotash, greens, and tofu. I think that's the top right picture. I think, right? Yeah.
I would say that too, yeah. And then the chicken pot pie soup, I think, is the
bottom left, right? Yeah. Which, I mean, that looks good. I like chicken pot pie.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm guessing this bottom right one is the pork chop, right? Buttery mashed potatoes, seasonal vegetables, and bourbon applesauce. Okay. I'm not a big pork chop fan. I'm not going to lie. I like pork. I just don't, for some reason, I don't like pork. I don't like anything that has the potential to be tough,
Tom, next picture down, that is the burnt ends pasta.
They ruined it by putting mushrooms in it, though. Oh, come on.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Keep mushrooms out of my food.
No.
Yes.
Dude, no. Mushrooms are awesome.
Those burnt ends look fantastic, though. I have to say.
That's exactly what I was picturing for burnt ends pasta.
It looks really good.
This buttermilk chicken sandwich. Ooh.
Yeah, with fried cherry pepper slaw and barbecue aioli served with house fries, although it looks like tater tots in the pictures. I mean, maybe that's their house fries is tater tots. I don't know.
I think that is their house fries
Well, you skipped right over the pimento cheese loaded house fries, though. Barbecue brisket, burnt ends, fried cherry peppers, bread and butter pickles. Bread and butter pickles.
I would push past that to get to the chicken sandwich. So
you would push or you wouldn't?
I don't want the loaded fries. I want the chicken sandwich.
I would push past that, yeah. And then, wow, they're really doing a lot with these burnt ends. Burnt end grilled cheese, some barbecue brisket with pickled pepper relish. I feel like I'm doing a tongue twister. Pickled pepper relish served with house fries again. So, I mean, that sounds good too. They're really throwing burnt ends into a lot of stuff, though. Oh, and the country Cuban sandwiches because it's pulled pork, country ham, and then dill pickles served with house fries. Okay,
All right.
so that makes sense.
All right. Now let's get down to what is this? Oh, this is Cafe Orleans. Okay.
What is this? What is this Haunted Mansion candle and heart dessert?
Vanilla dip mousse on a pecan pie cookie and mixed berry compote, but it looks
like a candle. Like, is it lit like a candle?
Yeah.
Wait, is the mousse lit. The candle?
That is pretty.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, like that surprises me. Like that's actually as much as I don't like going for mousse on like.
Oh, I love mousse. Yeah, I love mousse.
But just because it's usually dairy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just the presentation on this.
Well,
wow,
the mixed berry compote, they make it look like blood spatter too.
Yeah. It looks like blood splatter with a candle. That is cool.
Yeah, that is a very cool dessert. I've never seen anything like that before. What about some potato and sausage soup? That sounds good to me. Marbled potatoes, caramelized.
Is that this cup on the other side?
I think it's the cup. Like yeah,
it
looks good. I think it looks good.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks a little bland to me. But.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
Okay, well, and then we have no more pictures. We've run out of pictures.
But they do have some Carnation Cafe stuff.
Yet no pictures. Walt's chili cheese omelet. Yeah, we got.
Yeah.
They like doing that Walt's chili thing. He loved his canned chili. It's big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peach pie margarita. Okay. Sounds yummy.
And they put a veggie skillet on here, which it's funny that they say it's a veggie skillet, and the first thing they say is 3 cheese eggs.
Yeah, well, I mean, they didn't say vegan; they just said veggie, my friend.
but you assume if it's a veggie something, it's it doesn't come with eggs.
I don't necessarily. I only assume that if it's vegan,
right? But I feel that's a little misleading, especially when they lead in right away with here's our eggs on a veggie skillet.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. Who doesn't like some good eggs, though, Trevor? I mean, come on.
Now you have to admit, so they have some new drinks here. The first one, the orange creamsicle.
Yeah, I'm always up for anything creamsicle flavor.
Sprite, candied orange syrup, and cream topped with a candied orange slice.
Yeah,
it's non-alcoholic too. Like that's fantastic that you can get more than just like soda.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. That sounds kind of delicious.
Yeah, and I mean, Carnation Cafe is like, I know it's one of my wife's favorite places to eat when we go to Disneyland because it is, like you said, it's like Walt's cooking, like it's all his favorite kind of stuff, and it's very like just like comfort food. I put it in the same space as like Primetime, or 50s Primetime because it's that like same kind of cooking, right?
It's just kind of like comfort food. It's not anything fancy. It's
and it's right on Main Street too, so like you can't go wrong.
That sounds great. Yeah. All right, why don't we wrap this thing up?
All right,
I got nothing else unless there's anything else you want to talk about.
No, I mean I think we've talked about a lot here. Can
I just really quickly just go Chapek, whichever way I'm saying it wrong. I want to know the people that it annoys you. I'm just going to say it a bunch now.
Please break it down and tell us which one was the right pronunciation.
Diamaro.
I don't know. All right.
I don't know either, man.
I say Chapek.
I think I always heard it Chapek. That's what I always heard.
Yeah.
So, and I thought that's the way I always said it, but maybe I say Chapek.
Yeah,
who knows? It's a caramel situation or a pecan situation,
aluminium.
Oh, I listen, I love aluminium. Sounds way cooler than aluminum. I mean, but to our British listeners out there,
this is we're getting into colloquialisms, which is very very funny because even I used to think that I spoke normally until I met people outside of the province that I live in.
Well, I mean, like, there's, I don't necessarily want to get into this right now, but like, even like, there's some stuff that you say, Trevor, that like, like instead of saying line up for stuff, you always say queue up. And I just had never heard it like said like that before, like, it just, or you say like instead of call, you say phone. You always say I'll phone this person. You know, and and it's just different like small things like that you don't really notice until you're talking to other people from other places. You know,
I was actually very careful earlier on when I said soda. I actually do catch myself because I want to say pop.
Oh wait, do you guys say pop in Canada? Is that really?
Well, at least in my circle, like it's kind of split actually. Like there's some that say soda, some that say pop. And when I grew up, it was always called pop. So,
well, it's like that in the United States, though. There's some places that call it pop and some call it soda. Down in the South, they call everything Coke. So, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, like up here is like, I want orange pop. Like that was, So
interesting. I didn't know they said pop in Canada.
Yeah. And like I said, I don't know if it's everywhere, at least where I grew up and the area that I live in, you can say, give me a pop and people know what you mean. Yeah, like Soda feels weird. I know other people say it, but it feels weird to me.
I've always said soda. So, all right, let's wrap her up, Trevor.
Yeah. All right. As usual, if you guys want to reach out to us, you can always find us at welcomehomepodcast@gmail.com. You can send us your questions. You can share trip reports with us. We love hearing from you guys. So that's always the first place to find us. If you want to find us on social media, you can look on Facebook for us as Welcome Home Podcast. You can look for us on YouTube also as Welcome Home Podcast. And you can look on Instagram for Welcome Home Pics.
Yeah,
you're on Facebook
page and tell us all the things that we're saying the wrong way. Go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
So,
well, I was going to say, if you're on Facebook, we have our page, but then also we have our group, which is Welcome Home Disney Waitlist, and
exactly. Yeah.
You can hop in there and you can comment about things you heard on the show, or you can talk with us as well as other people who listen to the show, and you can get great insights about how other people do their Disney trips, and just talking Disney stuff in general. It's always a great time in there. And if you want to help support the show, as we said at the beginning of the episode, we have new merch in the store. So go to store.welcomehomepodcast.com, check out our new logo. We will also have the old logo up there, so you can pick between them, and you'll be able to see. Or is it a different link for the golden button? I think
no, it's all the same place. It's all okay.
It's
store.
Okay, so So you can see the golden button shirt in there, which again is the golden button is going to be a limited run shirt. So if you really want to get the golden button, make sure you get in there and get that. It won't be around forever, but the new logo will be. I'm excited for it. We're gonna in the future we will have more hat giveaways with the new logo, and there will be more merch around that. So make sure you check that out. If you would like to support us through Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/welcomehomepod. We have different levels of support for our Patreon listeners. And anyone who does support us through Patreon also gets access to the Discord server, which is yet another place that we love talking with our listeners. Should also mention that for our Patreon supporters, they do get a discount in the store. So I believe it's 15% now.
Yeah,
that we're doing. Yeah, so
15% discount.
So yeah, if you want to support us through Patreon, you can do that, and you can get a discount on getting the new logo merch. So and for any of our current Patreon listeners, hey, you guys all got a discount, so make sure you use it. Absolutely. And hopefully there's something in there that you guys want, and like Damon said, we want to see pics of you guys, rocking the merch. And if you're in the parks, send us a pic of you, wearing our logo, or any of our shirts, honestly, because that's just cool. It's not that I just love seeing the fact that people are enjoying the merch. That's all I want to see. So
I agree.
Yeah. And also, if you are listening on iTunes or Spotify, leave us a 5-star review so that more people can find the podcast in the future. And on iTunes, you can write us a review. So if you want to leave us some feedback about the show, we love seeing it, and we do read it out on the show. So you can hear us. You can hear us comment on your comments.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't have any this week, Trevor. So
that's fine. But I didn't think we got any new ones. They've been a little quiet.
But don't forget to subscribe to Welcome Home Podcast. That's another way you can help us, is by subscribing to the podcast. So you can be reminded every time we release a new episode. You can even auto download us if you subscribe. That's a good thing to do. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, just about any podcast app out there. Oh, including YouTube Music as well as YouTube. We've seen more and more people watching us on YouTube and listening through YouTube Music. So go check us out there. Took us a long time. I've been seeing
it on my feed, by the way. I've seen the episodes popping up, which is very cool. So make sure you go check that out.
Yeah, and I know we don't have a video component to it, but I know a lot of people listen to audio only on YouTube. So that's, go check us out there, please. Just a reminder to our listeners, Welcome Home Podcast is for entertainment only. We are not employed by the Walt Disney Company, and as such, all the opinions we express on the show are our own. So please consult a DVC cast member or a Disney cast member for more information about anything we talked about today. Huge thank you to our sponsors, DVC Resale Market, as well as World of DVC, for continuing to be a huge supporter of this show. Please check them out for all your DVC needs, rental, financing, purchasing, all that good stuff, selling. If you want to do any of that stuff, check out World of DVC, DVC Resale Market. They are huge supporters of the show and have been really great to us. So join us next time for more Disney Parks discussion. Of course, more DVC talk. We hope to see you all real soon.
This is Skipper Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, signing off from Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC. Do a huddle when we hit a chair. How she can cuddle is no man's affair. I looked around from pole to pole, found her in a sugar